Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln and West Dallas.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
We're having a ball here today at the Milwaukee Mile. Practice from noon to 4. Tomorrow things get going as soon as 9 a.m. when gates open. Practice on the track at 9:30. All 5 divisions get a practice round, qualifying rounds, whether it be groups or individual. We're going racing at 1 o'clock tomorrow at the Milwaukee Mile for the Father's Day 100 presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. And great racing throughout the afternoon with some grassroots racers from near and far. We're hanging out with you at the DeAngelis Construction Roadshow HQ. That's our roadshow sponsor for the entire year. Thanks to Oak Creek Automotive and Bobby Gutnick for coming on for this roadshow once again at the Milwaukee Mile. DeAngelis Construction is a racing family business serving Milwaukee since 1982 with their trucking, snow plowing, and expert concrete work. They'll lay only the best commercial and residential concrete and will work with you to make your designs and ideas come to life, including stamped concrete and decorative displays. Go online right now to DeAngelisConstructionLLC.com. This portion of the show is brought to you by Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. List and buy with confidence if you're buying or selling a home or commercial property. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and list it with Matt Rapina. His website, easy, mattrapina.com. mattrapina.com. Knowledge is power. Higher knowledge. We got a couple of guys here with us. It's great to see. We got a trio of drivers that are sitting with us. 2 are racing tomorrow. One's a spectator. But we wanted to bring him in because there's a lot to talk about here on the Racing Roundup program. Let's bring in one teenager on this side of me, Bill Preetzel. The other teenager over here is Ty Fredrickson. And the other guy over here, 2 years out of his teens? Come on now. Justin Monday. Guys, great to have you on. Bill, we'll start with you. Your wife Jan is over here. You're over here. You're back there already in the Mid-Am Series again at the Mile. What do you guys work through today to get back in victory lane here?
Just trying to get comfortable today. I mean, our first practice session, we were the first ones out. The track was pretty dirty yet. We were, breaking in new brake pads and just getting comfortable. We were a little better the second session. The third session, we were a little better again, and I decided that was enough, so we skipped the last one.
Okay. What'd you see as far as the competition? You're pretty quick to gauge now.
We were probably 7th or 8th on the sheet, and we didn't tape it up or do any of that. I don't know if that's going to make a big difference here for the Mid-Am cars or not, but there's a couple cars that are a whole bunch faster than we are yet, so if they're going to be that fast tomorrow, we got a lot of work to do.
You got some practice sessions today.
Yep.
You mentioned you skipped a couple. Tomorrow you get one more crack at it, like a 10:30ish or so for about almost 10, 12 minutes, something like that.
Yep.
You going to go back out there?
We'll go out in the morning, warm everything up, make sure everything's good, but car was comfortable today. I always say I think the car is better than the driver right now.
Well, the cars will qualify. Mid-Am Racing Series will qualify at 11 a.m. right after Midwest Trucks and the ASA Stars National Tour. Mid-Am stock cars in group qualifying, 8 to 10 at a crack for 2 laps. Have you done that before?
We've done that the last couple of years here, and so far all the groups that I've qualified with, we strung out. Nobody got in anybody's way. I mean, you try and group. I mean, the series has been real good in grouping cars by practice times, and they've been real good at it. We haven't had hardly any issues at all with somebody running over somebody else, so it's been real good that way.
Sounds good. Single car qualifying for the ASA Stars National Tour about 11:15 tomorrow morning. If you're making your way to the mile, MilwaukeeMileRacing.com is the website to get to. Tickets are available. Kids tickets actually being sold just at the gate tomorrow. $5 for kids 5 through 11, under 4 free. Everybody else has to pay adult pricing, and there's pit passes available as well. Justin Mondyke, I saw a bunch of orange shirts here once again today. You brought the crew. You're sitting there second in the Midwest Tour points. This is a race that's extremely important for you guys, chasing that first championship, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one championship yet that we haven't been able to knock off and get in our court. So we had that circled on our schedule this year. It's definitely been a priority and focus for us. So it adds intensity, and it's pretty cool that the Stars National Tour is here as well. So feel pretty good about our car today. We unloaded pretty fast, and every practice session we kept going faster and faster, and I feel like it's got a pretty good balance at this point.
One of the biggest differences that continues to be talked about in this first year of the ASA Stars National Tour is they're primarily adapting. You leaving, Bill?
That's what they said.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Appreciate you coming on. I don't know anything. I'm just sitting here talking to people. I'll sit here all day and talk to you guys. Thank you, Bill.
I remember Ty's dad being a skinny teenager.
He remembers Dan Fredrickson as a teenager before he had his 5 kids. 6 kids? How many brothers? 5 kids, yeah. Ty being one of the oldest. Justin, when it comes to this racetrack, though, there's an option. Midwest Tour and ASA Stars National Tour. You can run your 2-barrel that you've been running all season long by rule in the Midwest Tour, but you also can run a 4-barrel if you care to. What have you guys decided, and is that a big factor for you here at the mile?
I can't really tell you that, what we decided. But
you have a choice, right?
We have a choice, yeah. So we tried both today and kind of still weighing our options with it. It's really hard to say, but I feel like we got on our best package right now. But it's nice to have the flexibility within the 2 options, right? But then it's also gives you options, and you can kind of make the wrong decision at the same time. So we tried both today. Both I feel are very, very close. It's whatever we feel is going to race better versus qualify. I know that we have to impound after qualifying, so you kind of made your bet in qualifying. So we're still looking at it as a team. We'll look at it tonight, make a few other changes on the car, and we'll see what we have for tomorrow.
You were here the last 3 times the ASA Midwest Tour raced at the Milwaukee Mile. Still looking for your first top 10 finish. It's 100 laps. I know we got rain shortened one in there along the way, but what makes this difficult or unique, or just something you're like, man, I got this figured out, but I got to make it last to the end? What are the scenarios you've played with as you're preparing all week and maybe the last couple weeks for this weekend?
Well, the biggest thing here is track position, right? So if you look at even tire fall off today when we put new ones on versus after a couple laps, I mean, it's 4 or 5 tenths after 10 laps, right? And it just continues to fall as the race goes on. So track position is huge. Being able to start in the top 10, keeping track of your lap times, keeping your car in a good shape. 3 years ago we were here, we were running top 5 and had motor issues, and then the second year we were here, we were just really bad. And then last year, I think we were running 6th or 7th with like 30 to go, and then we had a flat right front. So we've had good speed here. We just can never seem to finish the race or have a good outcome at the end of it. So far the weekend's been really good for us. We unloaded good off the truck, and like I said, I think we'll have a good piece for tomorrow.
Did you bring anybody special with you to the Milwaukee Mile, whether it be a sponsor or 3 crew people or new fans coming today? I need to see Just the Race at the Mile this weekend.
No, hopefully just some new fans. I'm very fortunate with all my crew and my girlfriend and my crew chief Darren this weekend, and Toby with helping us out, and all my crew and sponsors and all the fans. So just really looking forward to tomorrow.
We're looking forward to seeing your race as well. Justin Mondyke, thanks for spending a few minutes with us here. Carrying the colors still, the Quickie Driver Development Program. Once you're in that, you're in it kind of for life, aren't you?
Absolutely. It helped put our name on the map. Still very honored to be a part of the program. We've still continued, the Mighty Bando series up north and the Traveling Bandolero series. So it's always cool to carry on his name. And like I said, I really appreciate you having me on the show.
And I will tell you, if you're watching this and you're not able to make it to the mile tomorrow, there is a special piece we're putting together on the stream. You'll see it on Racing America, TrackTV.com, or MidwestTour.tv. We found footage of Alan Quickie's win here from July 10th, 1983, where he beat Bob Seneker to the line. The names of drivers in that race was incredible, and Alan won that race, and that really kind of made him think, okay, I can do this. And the next year he was racing his first ever NASCAR Xfinity Series race. So I know things can be important when you tie that name, and especially here to the mile together.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, the history just with the mile. It was really cool to come back, 3 years ago and come back at the mile. It's such a different racetrack. We don't have a lot of experience on big tracks, right? It's normally half miles or 5/8 is the biggest we go to. So it's kind of hard to know what feel you're looking for. And over the years, I think experience has helped us. And like I said, we unloaded good today and excited for tomorrow.
Justin, we wish you well. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Justin Mondyke racing to get those points for the ASA Midwest Tour and the big victory to land right back here in Victory Lane at the Milwaukee Mile. Justin, thanks. Ty Fredrickson joins us now. Ty, you've got a few minutes to spare because you're not racing anything for a change when you're at the racetrack. You've been traveling the country racing Legends cars. You've done some really good things across the country, and now you get a chance to run Dad's super late model. Is that right?
We have a crate motor, but we run it in the super late classes where the crate late models.
How'd it go?
The first race, qualified 12th, started there, missed the invert by 1 to start on the pole, and then worked our way up to, we were running for 3rd and fell back to 5th.
Not a bad way to go about things, is it?
Nope.
Really cool to see you getting these opportunities. What are you learning this weekend? I've got Albert Francis next to us as well, and Albert's, he's grown up in the sport. You've grown up in this sport. What are you learning? What are you taking in this weekend?
I'm just learning how to adjust the car and stuff to see how my dad likes the handle of the car and see what adjustments helps it handle better.
Dan Fredrickson driving the number 69 in a partnership with Michael Hind and racing for ASA Stars National Points. When it comes to the race car, what is your dad allowing you to do, and what do you want to do on these race cars to get them fast?
I just do whatever. I usually just jack the car up, take tires off, and do stuff like that.
Uncle David, I'm sure, is the one telling you things, or is Dad yelling out the door before he climbs out?
David's telling me what to do.
All right. It's a good combination, really. It's a good way to learn.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out with us for a few minutes. I saw him sitting over here on the photo stand. I'm like, come on up here, Ty. Hey, have fun tomorrow, too.
Thank you.
Look forward to him going over the wall. You're not going over the wall tomorrow, are you?
Yeah, I will.
All right, there you go. Look for the 69 pits with the shorter guy gaining experience here at the mile in every fashion. Ty Fredrickson joining us here. My goodness, I'm looking at this stat sheet. Albert Francis raced in the last 3 ASA Midwest Tour races here at the mile. And I recall Albert like it was yesterday, that number 33 car, going down the front stretch, you passed like 8 guys. You were fast here the first time I ever saw you race here. What made you adapt so quickly to racing here at the Milwaukee Mile?
I've been to a lot of different racetracks. It's different than anywhere you've ever been. So there's nothing that it's going to make you adapt any quicker. It's just as a driver knowing how to feel what you need to feel, and so it almost feels like the corners are longer than the straightaways here. It almost sounds stupid to say, but like the straightaways are really long, but like the corners, it seems like you're in them like a half a minute longer than you are down the straightaways.
So you've got the benefit of being here the last 3 times the ASA Midwest Tour ran here, but as far as those corners go, I also noticed over the course of my time sitting in the grandstand since 1971, which is true, left front lift, nose plowing a little bit, all those little nuances that seems like it magnifies now and what the super late model setups are for you guys. What do you guys work on today to get that front plane flat across and get on the gas as soon as you can?
You just got to be like right in the middle of the corner when you need to be getting in the throttle. You need to still be turning. So like you need to be able to be straight so you can get as much straightaway speed as possible. And we were struggling a little bit with that today. We were a little snug, but I think we're in a good spot. Johnny Van Dorn, he's on the box this weekend, so he should be able to get me in a good spot. So
Johnny Van Dorn, he's a great race driver, very accomplished, and said, I need to focus on my family business. He and his brother Butch have started Van Dorn Racing Development. You're certainly part of that. They make some really fast chassis. How much of an impact is it knowing that he can still climb in that race car and try to get laps in to help you as well? I mean, that mindset, how comforting is that knowing that he's building the car that you're racing?
It helps a lot knowing that he's been in the cars before and he knows exactly kind of what I'm talking about. Because, like, sometimes if you're working with somebody who's never drove them and just worked on them, they don't know exactly the feel you're talking about. So it makes it easier to explain in sort of your own little race car language. To,
Big time.
to somebody who's raced before.
So when you go like, he's like, I got you.
Yeah.
One of those deals.
Exactly.
Awesome. I mentioned you guys grew up as a family in racing. Tell us what your family business is for those people who may not be familiar on the Racing Roundup show about how important it is to race well. But you guys have a lot of responsibilities for racers nationwide, don't you?
Yeah. We build race engines and pretty much anything. I mean, we build a lot of diesel tractor and truck pulling. And
Dude, that's so cool. I did one of those. That's amazing.
One of them.
Well, I did it for Lucas Oil on the Edge for MAV TV. I didn't drive it, but I was so impressed with
what year did you do that?
Let's see. It was at the Terre Haute Action Track. It was probably 2019, maybe? Somewhere in there?
I'm not sure.
You go to a bunch of them?
We ran full-time from 15 to 17.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen the Maximus Prime trucks. They kind of look like Optimus Prime. Yeah, they're the Max.
That's you guys?
Yeah.
How much fun is that, knowing you've had that as a background, and it's just, to me, it seems so different, so cool, because you were in that crowd. There were 3,000 people there, and everybody had a diesel truck with big old, seemed like 1 foot round stacks coming out the back of the truck bed. Just let her rip, man, on the racetrack and on the parking lot.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I work on them, but it's definitely not my favorite thing to do.
So what is your role when you're not driving this race car with the family business, Francis Engineering?
I do a lot of the circle track engines. I'll do a lot of the machine work on all this stuff. But
okay.
I don't prefer to work on the big stuff. It's a little too heavy.
I've never been around a guy that builds his own engines or builds the engine, and now there's a certain feel in the seat of your pants that you have to have as a driver. Do you hear the car? Can you feel the engine? Can you're around engines your entire life. I think is there something that you can then bring then as a driver that says, okay, I work on the engines. I help build this engine I have in the car. Are you looking for a feel or a rumble or anything along that line that kind of comes to mind? Like, yep, that's what I wanted to hear or see or feel.
Yeah, it definitely helps with us developing stuff for our customers, knowing how smooth we can make them and easy on tires. And in a place like this, you just need horsepower, so it's not much of a it's pretty easy to build one to make horsepower. But
perhaps I was so impressed the first time I saw you here. I was looking at the front stretch, lap after lap, and all of a sudden this black 33 jumps down to the bottom, and you pass 4 guys down the front stretch. Do you remember that at all? Because I was like, that kid's got something. Who is that guy? And I've been trying to pay attention to you since.
I don't remember it specifically, but
this ASA National Tour, ASA Stars National Tour, is going across the country, and you guys have committed to race this many races already. What's it been like racing against this competition, coming off of a regional tour and racing select All-American 400s and going to some other big races at the end of the year? What's it been like this year chasing what seems like the big races every time you race?
We've had a lot of good runs. I mean, aside from 5 Flags, we didn't run really good there, but Madison, we run 7th. We were running pretty good at the other races until incidents happen, and that's all you can ask for is to be running up front. At least when that stuff happens, it makes you feel a lot better about it. It's still not a fun thing to do, but the competition's definitely tough, but it's fun to race with guys that are actually competition rather than, running local or stuff like that.
Yep. Now I got you down at you're 21 years of age already?
Yep.
Best finish is 7th this year. You're 9th in points today. What is the goal tomorrow, knowing what you guys worked through today? Seeing some speed in some others, gaining speed throughout the day. What do you guys want to get away from here? 100 laps, top 5, top 10, a victory? What's the expectation?
I want to run in the top 10 and get some stage points and definitely finish up there. We need a good points day. So.
Yeah, a lot of points that can be gathered throughout the race. You mentioned stage points. Lap 35 and lap 70 if you're coming to the race tomorrow watching on the streams. Lap 35 is the end of Stage 1. Points are awarded just like NASCAR, 10 down to 1 for the top 10 finishers. Stage 2, and different than NASCAR is that at the end of the race, Stage 3, the top 10 in finishing order also receive points. Yep. So it's a lot to keep track of. With just 10 races, I keep reminding myself, I'm like, okay, we're going here, we're going there next, we're going to this one. Dude, that's only 10 races to win a championship and get points.
Yeah.
Other series are 20 or 30 or more.
Qualifying worth points, and it's good to have speed, and it's you get if you don't qualify good, you can always get the hard charger bonus points too. So
you're up in there too. You passed a bunch of cars already this year.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. They're keeping track of those stats, and that'll pay out some cash at the end of the year as well. Albert Francis, thanks for joining us.
No problem. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, hanging out. You going to hang out tonight? Going to get a fish fry, a brewer game? What are you going to do tonight?
We're definitely going to go get some food. I don't know.
All right. Well, we got some choices. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people here that can give you 7 different choices each about where you want to get a good meal. We got you covered here in the Racing Roundup show in the Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane. Thanks again for coming down.
Thank you.
I think he's got his own plan here. This guy sitting next to me is the current player of the ASA Midwest Tours. We say thank you to Albert Francis. We've got Gabe Summers joining us here from Plover, Wisconsin. Gabe, I think you guys probably did everything you could possibly change on that race car. I checked in a few times on you guys, and you were thrashing today. How did everything go for that number 15 ASA Stars National ASA Midwest Tour ride?
Well, I think we started out all right. When the track was a little cooler, a little less rubber on it. Struggled a little bit later in the run, kind of switching back and forth between 2-barrel and 4-barrel. We don't really know what we want to run yet. Been struggling with the car just a little bit. It's probably top 10 car right now. Just need to find a little bit more grip off the corner and just make it a little bit better for tomorrow.
We think of the names Trickle. We think of the name Shear. Those guys start their season in Speed Weeks in Daytona at New Smyrna Speedway in the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing. Gabe, you've done that now for a number of years, including this year. How does that help you prepare for wherever you may race this year?
Yeah, I think it helped for sure. Getting to Pensacola, we ran pretty good there, and we struggled there 2 years prior and made up a lot of ground when we went back there. I think we found a bunch of stuff at Speed Weeks to help with that. Just a 4-barrel racing, it's a lot different too, so when you go down there, it's good to get more notes and get a better chance at it with those guys down there since that's what they run on. So I think it gives us a good jump start and just helps out with the season.
Fight out of the box at Pensacola, the ASA Stars National Tour inaugural race was the Sunshine State 200 at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola back in March. You finished 6th there. Then they came to your turf, the Joe Shear Classic at Madison International Speedway, finishing on the podium there. That was a combination Midwest Tour ASA Stars National Tour race. What'd you gather there, knowing you had a lot more knowledge of what those cars may or may not do on that half mile?
Yeah, it was still different with the 4-barrel. I think the racing was better, to be honest. I liked it a lot better and put on a better show, I think. So I'd like to see more of that kind of racing. I think it's more fun to drive, and definitely being on that track prior helped out a lot with the car, and just having laps around there compared to some of the other guys. We had a really good run there. I think we had a car to win if we had some more laps. We had a different pit strategy than most. It just ran out at some time. So I mean, we've been good, and that's what we got to bank on.
Hang out with Gabe Summers. He's finished as high as second in the ASA Midwest Tour points. Currently the point leader after 3 events here in the ASA Midwest Tour. At these 3 events, I think he did pretty decent to keep that lead. 6th at Slinger to open it up in April. 3rd as the Joe Shear combination race, and 9th at Jefferson. 3 very different racetracks. How different was it for you guys to set up for the Milwaukee Mile? Has it been a car you've been working on and setting aside, or has it been a car you guys have been just racing every chance you get?
Yeah, we haven't ran it that much. Body, obviously, is a lot different, and making sure everything's straight. A lot of body bracing. We put in a lot of time on this car to get the body right to come here. That's basically the biggest thing to coming here, is making sure the body bracing's right and just making sure it looks good. So, and it's got to go through tack always, so that's always fun.
It is, and we got 19-year-old Gabe Summers hanging out with us, but he's got about 35 years of experience in the pits between 2 Wisconsin guys that are pretty good behind the wheel and behind the wrenches. Today I saw Chris Wimmer work with you, and I also saw your full-time guy, Travis Sauter, working with you here at the Mile. How much does that play to your benefit, knowing their experience, especially their successes here at the Mile?
For sure, yeah. Travis won one here, and Chris also ran here. So that helps out a lot, helping me out, and they kind of know what the car's got to be to win here, so that helps out.
So when they say, let's try this or try that, or even the racing line, you've got that depth of knowledge. How much time have you guys gone through video or talked through things, or maybe even today after practice going, okay, here's where I think we got it. Regardless of what we have under the hood, this is the areas I think I got it down.
Yeah, for sure. Chris was watching in the corner and making sure I'm in the right spot and making sure the nose is down on the ground and everything looks right. But we definitely talked about the line a little bit to work on my part, and I think we need to work on the car just a little bit, and I think we'll be top 5.
There'll be a couple more Sauters here tomorrow. Tim Sauter's coming down. That's Travis Sauter's father. Tim actually won the pole here in 1998, led a bunch of laps there. He's raced here a bunch in the both the NASCAR Xfinity Series, NASCAR Truck Series, and, of course, in ASA where he's the 1999 champion. Now let's see. It's Tim, the dad, Travis, the son. Now the grandson, Reed, Travis's boy, he's been helping you guys. He's going to be doing the sign tomorrow. He told me at Madison he's going to practice at home. He's going to do the pit board. It's got to be fun having that kind of enthusiasm around the shop and at the racetrack.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely involved in it heavily, especially in the shop too. Loves coming to the track, and he likes doing the pit sign. So it's good to get young guys in here and find their way in racing.
It's Father's Day weekend. I know your dad, your uncle have been way involved in this. How cool is that you're just 19 years of age, but how many years have you been racing with your family? 10, 15? I don't know.
Yeah, it's been quite a while, so it wouldn't be possible without them, and hopefully we can get a win for them. My dad's been with me since Bandolero, and just basically our whole family.
When did you guys start saying, okay, we're running Bandoleros at 1 track or 2 tracks or 3 tracks? How quickly did that escalate into we're getting a stock car, we're going racing, we're going ASA Midwest Tour racing?
It took some time. I mean, we've been in it for a while. We ran Bandoleros 2 years, and then Midwest Trucks 2 years, and then we went to Super Late. So, I mean, it's been a process, and I think I've come a long way as a driver and our team too.
For those folks watch the Midwest Truck Series as part of the action tomorrow, 100-lap Super Late Model race is what you'll be racing in. How important is it to get a track like this on, say, the Midwest Tour, Midwest Truck Series, schedule?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't get to race here when I was because we didn't race here yet, but I definitely think it would help for experience running a Super Late. I think any experience here is going to help you as a driver.
All right, Gabe, tomorrow, what's the plan? We've got a schedule we'll go through here. You've got to be here for a mandatory driver's meeting. I know you love mornings. 8:45, you got to be like hanging out here in Victory Lane for a driver's meeting. Is that an early start for you, or you know it's going to be a good day when you got to be here early and you're racing at 2:30 in the afternoon?
Well, I'll know about when practice starts.
All right, we know when that starts. So I've got a schedule right in front of me thanks to Kay Gundrum. 10:04 for 20 minutes. You had 4 sessions today. We talked about the changes you had. I'm guessing that's going to be a pretty important session for you guys trying to solidify what you want to do for the race.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to unload with some different stuff in the morning for that first practice and see where we're at compared to everybody else and go from there. But hopefully we can get something a little bit better in the morning in that first session.
And qualifying is soon after that, so it's really a matter of just finding small things, I'm guessing, in the morning. 11:15 about thereabouts is the ASA Stars National and ASA Midwest Tour qualifying. So if you're going to come down to the mile or join us on the stream, that's all going to be all part of the stream broadcast on Racing America, MidwestTour.tv, as well as TrackTV.com. You can find some great deals there. If you already subscribe, you get some money off. If you want to buy a 6-race package, the rest of the ASA Stars National races, there's an offer out there on all the streaming channels. When it goes to racing, last question for you, Gabe. When you're not racing in the car, what do you watch on TV? Do you watch TV at all? Or are you YouTubing races? Are you looking at what David Pearson did at Darlington? I mean, what are you doing to kind of stay in that mode and mindset when you get a chance to race a race car?
No, not really. Just kind of watch a little bit of film, but I don't watch a lot of TV. So,
all right.
Just a little bit of racing here and there in the shop a lot. So, just watching Race Monitor and stuff too a lot.
It's paying off for certain. Thanks again for taking some time this afternoon. I know you got a lot of things to work through tonight. We appreciate you taking time with us here in Victory Lane. We hope to see you back here in about 24 hours or so. That work for you?
That would work great.
Gabe, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it. We're hanging out with you at the Milwaukee Mile. We're inside Victory Lane where it's going to happen tomorrow. All 5 divisions will roll in here. We got some introductions to do tomorrow as well. Driver intros will happen right before the ASA Father's Day 100. That's the ASA Super Late Model race. That's the ASA Stars National Tour. 11 different states, 10 drivers from Wisconsin, and, of course, Nova Scotia represented as well with Cole Butcher, who we had on the show a moment ago. We're coming back with more on this DeAngelo's Construction Roadshow presented by Oak Creek Automotive live inside the Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, Head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much. American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500. You see him on MAV TV's coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, the ASA Stars National Tour, and the 500 Sprint Car Tour. The host of our show, Jim Trado.
Thank you. That's the voice of Dean Strom. He'll be back in action, not this coming Tuesday, June 20th, but he's on a boat somewhere right about now. We'll see Dean on our show on June 27th when we're back at Polly's Pub and Eatery. This coming Tuesday, we're at Polly's Pub and Eatery as well. Right now, we are hanging out with you at Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane. TV Bill Holland is here, capturing all the good stuff for the In the Groove segment. Good to see you, Bill. We also want to tell you that we've got a lot of people to thank for being part of this show and continuing our 39th season so strong here in this DeAngelo's Construction Roadshow. This week it's brought to you by Oak Creek Automotive. Bobby Gutek and the experts there at Oak Creek Automotive. They're on South 27th in Drexel. Well over 3 decades of experience repairing your daily driver to full-size truck repair. We're talking about engine, transmission replacement, emission tests, brake jobs. They got it all for you. Standard maintenance to just about anything you can have for a light truck on through. See the experts at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th and Drexel in Oak Creek. We now are joined by another Wisconsin native. We talked about the 10 Wisconsin drivers in the ASA Stars National Tour. He's got a lot of ASA history as well, and I'm so pleased to have, for a few minutes, my friend Mark Gundner, who, honestly, Mark, thank you for your involvement. You were kind enough to say, Jim, we're doing this TV show at Slinger Speedway in 1991, and we need a commentator that knows something about racing. So since then, I've been thanking you for the opportunities I've been given to hang out and do cool things like this show and hang out with you guys at the racetrack.
1991.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool, and a great amount of time spent together and a great friendship forged, and to continue to be a part of this stuff with you all these years has been great.
You've had an ARCA logo on your shirt for a number of years after ASA, the National Tour. Last race here was in 2004, right around the time you transitioned over to the ARCA Menard Series office, where you spent that time until, what, this past year when you retired?
17 years at ARCA, after 10 at ASA in Indiana, after, I think, 8 at Slinger.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like I'm going backwards here.
You're wearing the logo. You're wearing the logo. It's kind of cool.
Back to ASA and probably go back to like $100 a week for Todd Thielen at Slinger here before it's all over and done. Just end it.
He might ask why you want a pay raise, Mark.
That's why I started.
It's a great family business, the Slinger Super Speedway. They're racing Sunday night as well. This is, by choice, your home. You guys have a place outside the state in the wintertime. I don't blame you. But this retirement thing, it's kind of getting busy with the ASA Stars National Tour, isn't it? You're getting more ingrained, but I have to tell you, for on the record, the beauty of having you tied into this, Joe Balish tied into this, we have some of that feel, some of that earth and what made sense then. The Winter Circle program, thanks to Team Construction, all these elements that seemed to make sense then are coming to fore again.
You know, it was nice to step away from the business. It was, a lot of travel. A lot of travel, more than I cared for at the end. And I think I was just getting comfortable when Sargent called me and said he was starting to buy these regional tours, and would I talk to him and would I help him? And he started talking about a national tour. And I was interested, quite honestly. The super late model style racing really has been my passion from the time I started and even before growing up in Slinger, going to the racetrack there. Building this thing, modeling it kind of after ASA just seemed like a natural thing to do based on how that success worked as a national tour that was still Midwestern based, and it branched out and what have you. When the opportunity to bring the ASA brand to this property presented itself and actually happened, I mean, I think it even changed the way everybody looked at what we were talking about. And what
It was a
we were
working
gonna
name
do.
that wasn't really ASA led. It came up as part of it after you dedicated to working with the series.
We introduced the series just as Stars National Series, actually, at first, and then we had this opportunity to work with NASCAR to license the use of the name. And once they figured out that we were legit, they said, you know what? We acquired the IP rights to the ASA brand for the purpose of keeping the historic reference alive. Did not want it to just go away, with an idea that at some point maybe it would come back, just waiting for the right opportunity. And as Bob Sargent brought this idea of a national tour together and we kind of laid out what we were going to do, Jim France and the folks at NASCAR were like, you know what, this is the right opportunity to bring that brand back to short track racing. And here we are, back at the mile. How cool is this?
And that was a discussion. Bob Sargent, Jim France of NASCAR, and getting it done right and bringing in key people along the way. And we're seeing some really good people racing in the series, committed to this deal. $15,000 to win race again on Sunday, Father's Day 100. Throwing money at it, but also the owners program. You work really hard at making sure the sponsors are happy, but these teams are getting rewarded for being loyal to the series as well. And that takes time, commitment on the phone, dedication, and saying, this is what we want to build. We want you to be part of it.
Money helps, of course, for race teams. And we want to do all we can to try and make this make sense to all the race teams who choose to support it. But they need to understand and trust us as well. And, we're working awful hard here to try and make this work. And it's been a much bigger challenge to blend the three regional tours together from a rules perspective than any of us thought. And a guy who just walked into the audience here, my friend Joe Balish, has been working his butt off, and he's not done yet. I can tell you that for sure. I'm surprised you're here this early, Joe. But working with these teams, working with the different rules packages and the options has really been more of a challenge than any of us thought in trying to find the balance so that the cars from down south can race from the cars up here in Wisconsin and the middle part of the country. And it's not been perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like every race we get better. I feel like every race we get a little bit more of the trust of the race teams who understand that, we're not goofing around. We're not trying to fool them or mess with them. We're trying to do the right thing and create a platform for them to come and run on a national tour, on a national stage. And we want the finances to back it up and to make sense for them. And, getting to the halfway point, hard to believe already that Milwaukee is race 5 of 10. We start Sunday night, Joe and I and Bob and a couple other folks on the management team looking to 24. Hard. Sunday night, Monday during the day, Bob is staying in town, Joe is staying in town, and we're talking about next year. And we're starting to put our plans and programs in place.
One thing, if you're new to the ASA Stars National Tour platform, I call it that because it is a platform to succeed. Super late models, you want to run with the best? This is the series to do it. We're not talking about renting the track somewhere and hoping that people show up because there's an open date. We're talking about the Redbud 400 in Anderson, Indiana on the schedule this year. We're talking about the Winchester 400 on the schedule this year. We're talking about the Toledo Glass City 200 on the schedule yet this year. And the 250 lap Gander Auto Group 250 at Wisconsin International Raceway on Tuesday, August 1st is part of this series as well. So it's not a matter of saying, where can we play? You guys have done a lot of work already saying we want to be at these premier races that drivers may have saved all their money for to run 4 or 5. Hey, let's make this worth a while and go on a national tour. So there's a lot to that. And I look back today, I kind of reflected a bit. This racetrack meant a lot to ASA back in the day. Rex and Becky Robbins, I know you stayed with them and traveled down the road, and we became great friends. But Rex knew the importance of racing here at the Milwaukee Mile for ASA in 1978 on through, and having Darrell Waltrip and David Pearson and Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin, when they're all racing in NASCAR, to come here and race on these weekends. Dale Earnhardt included in 1987, I believe. It was really cool to know that was part of the history. What was the importance then and the importance now of the mile with ASA?
A track like this becomes like the Super Bowl for short track racers. And really a mile is about the biggest track Rex ever wanted to race on with the ASA cars. And it's probably as big a track as we need to run these super late models on. To think about going to Gateway or somewhere else like that, we're a little nervous about it. And I think, from a size perspective, this is about as big as we should do. And just that sheer size captures the imagination of the race team and the history of this place. It was a great venue for ASA. Some years twice a year, a lot of years once a year, but back into the late 70s and early 80s, as a kid, I remember coming down here and watching the ASA races and coming back and watching the IndyCar races, and just pulling into this place on the fairgrounds kind of gets your attention. I mean, it's not quite Daytona, but there is a tunnel down here outside of Turn 4 that you can come through. And it was always interesting to come here because we always had to lease the place from the state fair and be the promoter and the sanctioning body, so it was double duty work. Not only putting the race on and the rules and the schedule, but running the promotion here in the city of Milwaukee and watching the fans come out. And, we hope they continue to come out. This moving this race here late put our guys at Track Enterprises a little bit behind in getting the promotion started. But, I'm told the ticket sales are good. For the first time in a couple of years, the weatherman is on our side early. I think last couple times we've had weather to deal with here. But it's an important stop, and I think, if we're going to be ASA, we should run at the Milwaukee Mile. And if you think about these other events that you talked about, the Red Bud 400 was an ASA race. The Winchester 400 was an ASA race. The All-American 400 was an ASA race.
That's the finale this year. That's another big one. That's going to decide the championship here.
So not only since ASA went away, and these events have found a way to maintain their status as marquee races with other groups running them, the chance for us to come back, be a part of them, bring the ASA brand back has been really cool for pretty much everybody.
Mark Gundrum, it's cool to be with you again here back at the mile and doing everything you can to make this thing rock, and I appreciate your help and efforts and just the care. I mean, I guess we're too stupid not to care so much, right?
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, the sport is great, and asphalt racing needs something like this, a lot of people think. And if we're able to provide that, we're willing to work hard to do it.
Mark, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Appreciate it. It's always great to be part of this, and you can be part of it tomorrow. Yeah, he's getting a round of applause. We're not at a golf course, but we got enough people here hanging out and having a cold one in the Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane. We're going to wrap things up here from Milwaukee. We're going to tell you that Ty Majeski was the fastest of the ASA Stars National Tour cars here. 29.11 seconds his best lap. I'm going to look down the list here. Bubba Powered was the 26th fastest car. 31.014. That's less than a second. That's a whole lot of cars in between, a lot of competition, a lot of things to work on tomorrow, practice tomorrow morning. Everything opens up at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you want to come on down and join us, MilwaukeeMileRacing.com is the website. But get to the Milwaukee Mile. Be part of this. We need you here to support this. Track Enterprises, as Mark alluded to, there's a lot on the line. A lot of short track races don't get the chance but once a year to race here. We want to keep that going. We also know that the ARCA Menard Series in August was racing with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series coming back here to the mile on Sunday, August 27th. That's a Track Enterprises initiative. So if you're in the area, we encourage you to come out to join us here at the Milwaukee Mile and enjoy the race day. Stands open at 9 a.m. The infield is open for parking as well. A lot of questions I know online about what's the schedule. Just get here at 9 in the morning. We got a lot of racing starting at 1 o'clock to cover. We got 5 divisions of racing. The headline division, we heard about from a bunch of different drivers here today. The Midwest Truck Series is kicking things off at 1 o'clock with their 20-lapper. The Wars Compact Touring Series, a 6-wide salute lap. That's kind of cool. We're going to have the Mid-Am Racing Series. They're in their 30th season of racing. I remember back in the 90s, Gary Vercotteren brought, I think, 55 cars here once to race. It's a big deal for these short track grassroots racers to race here at the Milwaukee Mile. I can't forget the Upper Midwest Vintage Series as well. They've got a lot going on, and they're going to be racing at the end of the day tomorrow afternoon. So lots to do, lots to see. Come on down and join us. Kids tickets start at $5. I think you can still get advance tickets right now online, right? MilwaukeeMileRacing.com. Great opportunity to save $5 at the door. Seating in the stands. Hang out in the infield. Bring your own cooler. Hang out in the car. Have some fun. And we're going to tell you that we'll be back on our show Tuesday from Polly's Pub and Eatery. Looking forward to having that going on. We have one more commercial break. I'll get in the commercial break. Okay, we're going to do one more commercial break. I'll keep rambling because I'm at the mile. It's a beautiful afternoon. It's race weekend. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, RacingRoundupShow.com. We'll be right back with more of the upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup program. We're hanging out in the Milwaukee Mile for just about 1 more minute longer. I was wrong. Bubba Powered actually was the 19th fastest car. I had it listed here twice on my sheet. Sorry, folks, of Bubba Powered. He's here today racing. 6 drivers are racing this coming August 27th in either the ARCA Menard Series or in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. 6 drivers racing tomorrow. We'll be here on that big race day here at the Milwaukee Mile. I want to thank our crew for being part of another great show. Thank you to Dave Schmalzer, Matt Rapina, Greg Lapine. Thank you, Scott Krieger, for your help today. Mark Goodman for your help today. My son, Sam Trado. Appreciate Austin Schufert and all his efforts as well. They let us hang out here in Victory Lane with you. It's going to be a great race day tomorrow. It all begins at 9 a.m. at the Milwaukee Mile. Get your tickets in advance or come on down and bring your friends and bring your family. We're looking forward to seeing you for another great race day for the Grassroots Racers and the ASA Stars National Tour, ASA Midwest Tour, and the Father's Day 100. That race about 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. It's all going to be on the stream, but tape that stuff. We want to see you here. As we always like to say, set your DVRs, support your local racing, and have at it, racers. We'll see you Tuesday.
We hope you enjoyed our show. Like our show on Facebook and share our show with your friends. Follow and interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. To listen and watch our shows on demand, visit our website, racingroundupshow.com. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, this is Dean Strom reminding you to support your local racetracks. Set your DVRs. Have at it, racers.